Hi, we're Ralph and Joanne, and we're the lead pastors at the Source Church. And we're actually daily walking through the last journey of Jesus, which is the final week of his life here on earth, and what we can learn from each and every day. And yesterday, he had the triumphal entry into Jerusalem, where they were all cheering on him, and he came in on a donkey. And this is the next day. This is Monday. And something very interesting happens. He comes into Jerusalem from Bethany, and he does something quite unexpected in the temple.
So he shows up, we call it the Rambo Jesus. You know, and a lot of people say he lost his mind, but I want you to know something. The Bible says he never did anything unless his father told him to do it. But he shows up in the temple, and this is supposed to be a place of worship. This is supposed to be a place where people, everybody from around the world could come in. Whether you were Jewish or even Gentile, you could come into the courts. And, you know, the Bible says come into his courts with praise. And so he shows up into the courts, and what he's got going on there is they're selling off doves, they're selling off animals for sacrifice, which was normal, but the problem was people would walk in with their best and they would discount it and say it wasn't good enough, you had to buy one from us, and the price was exorbitant. So some of the people that did not even have the money to do it, they were kind of pushed out of the way. They weren't important anymore. You couldn't come in if you didn't buy our pre-stamped the best that we had to offer. And so Jesus is livid with this, because he says this is not what the temple is supposed to represent. So he starts a full-blown riot. He's kicking tables over, he's throwing the money changers, and he's literally causing an obliteration. Now, can you imagine this? We have the precious moment Jesus in Rambo mode, and he's clearing the tables, he's kicking stuff over, and he is angry because they've taken what was supposed to be holy and they've prostituted it for money. They were now using it as an extortion tactic, and he said enough is enough.
But I want to read the story to you because there's another really key thing in this story that we want to dig into. And so it's in Matthew 21, verse 12. It says, upon entering Jerusalem, Jesus went into the temple area and drove away all the merchants who were buying and selling their goods. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the stands of those selling doves. So he's having his Rambo moment. And as he said to them, my dwelling place will be known as a house of prayer, but you have made it into a hangout for thieves. But listen to the next verse. Then, wow, you want to pay attention to then.
Yeah.
So he cleared out the temple. He cleared out all of this garbage, the thievery, the religious ritual, all this stuff, the extortion. Then the blind and the crippled came into the temple courts, and Jesus healed them all. This is pretty amazing here, because understanding that because of religious ritual and extortion and all this other stuff, all these requirements that were required of people to get into that temple, because the Gentiles could go to the courts, into the temple only the Hebrew people, the Jewish people, could go in. But everybody was allowed in those courts, but not in the state it had been. Jesus was basically saying, scrap all of this. You're not selling anything. I'm giving access to all. Yeah. And when he gave access to all is when the hurting and the crippled came in and they got healed. So what is that saying? Is this is his final week of life. What he's saying is, forget this. We got to get rid of all this religious garbage. We've got to get rid of all of this stuff that makes it impossible for people to reach me. And we need to finally say once and for all, everybody is welcome.
Yes.
And he embraced the people who would not have otherwise qualified to get there. And he said, I want to heal you. And that's what he did. Yeah. So he's setting the stage for now. You see, Jesus' whole mission was to open it up for all of us. And this is a profound, profound moment where he says, enough. There's no requirements. I am paying the price for everything. I am all you need. I want people, the hurting. My place will never be a place where only the elite can come.
Yeah.
My place, my temple is a place for the broken, for the hurting, and for those who need me.
He actually qualified the unqualified, because you might be saying, I don't qualify. If you knew my past, my life, my this, my that, my this, my that, and we can make excuses, but Jesus says, I will qualify you, because my life, my connection to you is always open. It's never closed.
So may we never get stuck in the religious traditions and having to qualify ourselves for what Jesus has for us. No, what we need to do is just run to him and receive what he has. Let him heal us. Let him restore us. And let's not get stuck in what can be this religious garbage that Jesus wants to come in and overturn. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and make sure you come back tomorrow as we talk about what happened on Tuesday of Jesus' last journey.